Well, I bet you want to.
Third seat in, second row. Yeah, we're third seat and coming back for the country, so it's really very close.
It's just like it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I'm just finishing school too. I did 2 months part of health and safety training. Took my emergency now.
Show your stoles a little bit. Your stoles a little bit. You need fixing. There you go.
I'm just gonna walk away. 11 people are watching.
If it goes blank, I'll.
I'm charging. I'm on do not disturb.
Right there. Connor. First row. Where's Connor?
It just lost connection, so you might have to. No. It'll say just reconnect.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hurl on stage, no doubt. But it's okay.
So you guys kicked Mr. Newberger and took over the socials.
I have like been all in.
Did you meet Wellington? Yeah. I got a good setup for you.
Oh yeah? How many pages?
A couple of one hardware store.
Yeah.
And
It's hard. Especially your last year.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I put something wrong. I just thought of it. Kind of like future things. I just thought of this one. Or just the two of you with all the social on the right.
Oh, it's right there. I like how they.
So I just got something that would be least offensive to everybody. I know when I did, you get to keep the valedictorian and get up. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try again this year. Last year I tried the
I can keep the hat and now.
Mr. Schultz, you get to keep the valedictorian.
They weren't letting me do it. But yes,
And the
definitely.
yellow cord, yeah.
Oh, we get to keep the cord?
You got to yes.
Give it back.
And then they've got haircuts and rides.
He's in charge of course. Honor I know this is all upside down.
Your whole page.
Mine just wrapped me in that, and I love it.
Why would I be in the same row with you? What? What'd you say?
Oh,
What? What'd you say?
I
thought you said, I thought you
when I was writing this thing up last night, did you see my mask, David?
Can you even say that a little louder? Why don't, if you didn't say anything, I'm just hearing someone else talking to you.
What?
Yeah.
I tried to keep sitting there like stabbing the keys in your
Behind your seat.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I almost forgot to put this on. I like got out of my, I went to get out of my car and I was like,
Second seat in the last row.
okay, thanks.
Hi, Mr. Williams.
How are you? Good.
I always get
Yeah, I walked with your classroom and the desk is on the other side. I was like, oh. Yeah, the desk is in the corner. Yeah. The band room's the same.
Well, we'd like to chair set up.
It'll be weird. I already have too much people in the band room.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, I have one house at 53 this year.
That's a problem.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
Every 50.
Hey. Congratulations.
I just beat Mr. Peyton at 8 ball. He came over, he's like, you'll finish it, and I finished it. On Sunday? Tomorrow? All day? Yeah.
I have a condo there.
Oh.
Beautiful. Yeah. And that lives there also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
So he's doing it tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, we're all going to
Yeah, that'll use. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's all you do. How close is it to school?
So Catherine, are you taking over grad?
Everything's online.
No.
So even last and stuff?
You're just looking like it today?
No, well, I've been like going to get special work and that for the last 2 years. But I don't know about this part. I don't think they're just like eating with the kids. Yeah. I think Mark did too much. Someone else should.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Just as all the right people.
Yeah. Yeah. That was nice. I liked that. Yeah. Did you come in drive-by when they were standing?
I drove through
Yeah. And then there was some down here where they really spaced here.
maybe they wanted to.
Yeah. That was neat. I won't.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do this if you're going to dry all the time.
Well, it's just because it was so near here. Yeah. And you see how we can be back to them, like the water
Yeah, I think as bad as it is, it's still good.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get a big one?
Accidentally, yeah. I did it like the day after. It kind of like restored.
Oh, you didn't want to mold it either?
But because the two front, you got another two off, you know, like Carsters. I guess that's what I'm doing.
One semester, 2 classes.
Like this.
Two classes a day.
Is it like the not making economically passing out?
12, 15.
See, I'm really like, no. I think my hair definitely would have gone.
I'd rather do that. Well, and it kind of broke my heart too because I was going to look after Brenda for some time. And I had already done 2 weeks of it, and it was cool. Playtime, food time. Well, they had a childcare set up. This just pushes them into it faster. They wanted to wait until she was in September. She was.
So we really need to focus on the problems and Somalia today.
A lot of problems that I want to talk Yeah, yeah.
I remember how many times.
14 people.
Can I do it with that? No, I don't have one.
I was. Hey, Will. Yeah. Hey, how are you? I was thinking of you because one of my favorite moments of all time ever was Montreal at that museum. Joel, check them for me. Better get them. I'm trying. Got it. Favorite moment ever. I don't know what I was doing, but I was thinking
What time do I have? For the staff over there. That's gonna happen.
Well, you're the valedictorian. So, yes,
He's only like 6 months or
Well, in Ontario, you don't go into a store without. I feel like the odd person. You know?
wow.
And so it took me.
And some of the people that we see not wearing them are really
The older people,
yeah,
sick people,
standing outside in the snow, having snow.
yeah. Maybe you should just go.
Yeah.
I see Emma's back.
Yeah, you
I saw
know,
a car there.
she was supposed to come back on Sunday, but she came up last night. And Colleen knew about it. I didn't know about it though.
Okay.
And totally surprised me. Yeah, yeah.
Nice
So,
surprise.
yeah, very nice surprise. Yeah, so
How long is she here for?
2 weeks. Our nephew's getting married up in Rimby next weekend, the long weekend. So she came back to both of them side by side.
That'll be nice to visit.
Grads, can you come to the front and take your seats, please? You will be in alphabetical order.
I should be the front though, right? Thank you. I very much need to go.
The sun's gonna come out just in time.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I down here? You are? Just like the other.
Nice at the Rimby side.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it.
Are there any other games? There's no other games though?
Seth, you're at the other
Over there.
end.
They're over there.
This side? Yeah. Joseph.
No, he's right.
There.
Oh, there we go. Hey, buddy, your mask is on backwards. That's more mask. Who? Joseph. He's got the white side out.
Second one in, Christine, you're on the end. Everybody else
So do we have all the graphs?
Piece of tape and tape up.
Yeah.
should be one on there.
See, now it's time to. That's three so far.
Kind of rolled it upon itself.
And then you're gonna exit off the other end and then come back up here.
Kelly.
What? Is it just one page going?
Yeah. But that will be what it is.
Good afternoon, graduates, parents, and special guests. Welcome to the 2020 DHS Cap and Gown Ceremony. A couple of housekeeping requests before we begin. We are videotaping today's ceremony so that it can be put up on the school's webpage, allowing friends and relatives to watch the ceremony. Please refrain from honking vehicle horns until the conclusion of the event, when the grads will turn, face the audience, and wave their caps at you. Miss Budd will also be taking pictures of all grads, which will be made available to parents, so please do not exit your vehicle to snap pictures. We will begin our cap and gown ceremony with O Canada. Graduates, please rise. Thank you. You can be seated. Didsbury High School would like to acknowledge that today we are gathering on the ancestral lands of the Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, Tsuut'ina, and Stoney Nakoda First Nations. We acknowledge them as the first peoples of this land in which our school community lives and works. At this time, I would like to recognize the following dignitaries who are in attendance tonight. Mr. Gord Kerr, representing Schnucks Edge School Division Board of Trustees. Mr. Ray Hoppins, Associate Superintendent of People Services. And Mr. Garth Dagg, DHS Principal. Today's cap and gown acknowledges and celebrates the class of 2020, the COVID kids. We begin with the message from the Schnucks Edge School Division Board of Education, Mr. Gord Kerr.
Hi there. Can everybody out there hear us? Is it coming through on the radios? Okay, good, thank you. Well, thank you and good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Schnucks Edge School Division and our Chair, Alan Ternosi, thank you for coming to honor this group of graduates and celebrate with them as they move on into the next stage of their lives. Thank you to Mr. Dagg and Mr. Dick and the entire staff at DHS for supporting this group throughout their high school years. Graduates, your lives in this specific event will forever be tied to the numbers 2020. While my graduation was important and memorable to me, not many other people could tell you about specific events that happened in 1975 to make that year stand out. The same will not be said for this year. The year 2020 and COVID-19 will most certainly stand out and be a conversation starter and bring back many memories. What those memories and their effect can and will be determined by you. When I moved to Didsbury, I met a man who that as a young child had grown up in Holland during the Second World War. As Germany invaded Holland, food became very scarce and people suffered, and some died from starvation. This child had many hungry days and witnessed others suffer greatly, and it had a profound impact on him. When he moved to Canada and in his adult years, he decided to not let the events of the war define him. He changed the conversation by becoming involved in organizations that work to bring an end to food shortages around the world. He worked on local projects to grow food and to generously give of both his time and money. And when necessary, this soft-spoken man became a passionate voice for those who could not speak for themselves. Jack's work here raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help others around the world. Don't let the numbers 2020 be the conversation. Live a life, make choices that will turn the conversation back to you, to the positive impact that you can have on those around you, and in essence, to the world. You are the first graduating class I know that had a community do a grand march past you and to have your grad outdoors. You've already started to change the conversation, now just keep it going. Congratulations, DHS graduates of 2020. I look forward to hearing from you and having conversations about your successes in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Kerr. Now with the message from Schnooks Edge School Division, Mr. Ray Hoppins. Sorry, apparently we're just hanging on. The radio station isn't working. People further back can't hear. Okay, 89.3 is where you should be stationed. Can people further back hear? Radio station's working?
No, not yet. Okay, now?
Okay, try it now, 89.3. $89.3, any 89.3s? Going once? Twice? No? This is a trite bit embarrassing, but it's our first time. And just while we're waiting, I guess, in case you read the directions, you had it straight in your head, how the grads are going to come across and go, that's not going to happen. We did originally set the stage up this morning over there on the east side of the parking lot where it was supposed to be, and it was so windy you couldn't hear anything but wind noise through this, so then we had to bring everything back over here. And so I'm running out of things to say here, Wasmer.
I'm trying.
So am I. Okay, Mr. Wasmer and I are trying.
Is it there
It's
now?
there, Randy? 89.3? Anyone further back? 89.3? Thumbs up? Good to go? Thank you, Mr. Wasmer. All right, at this time, Mr. Ray Hoppins, Schnooks Edge School Division.
Thank you, Mr. Dick. Good afternoon, graduates, parents, family members, staff, community members, and special guests. I do have to begin my speech today just with a note that Mr. Dagg just got the digits reversed, and as a math teacher, I think we'll give him a pass. He's done a lot of good work. So Mr. Dagg, don't worry about it. I am honored to be here today to bring you greetings from Schnooks Edge School Division on behalf of our superintendent, Mr. Kurt Satcher. I didn't come to speak long. That's the good news. I just came to say congratulations. Congratulations to you graduates. I am sorry for the circumstances of your final year of high school. And I do know what it's like. I have a son that graduated this year. But what I've watched all of our youth do is make the best of it. And that gives me a lot of pride in our school system and in our communities. And so I say congratulations to you, knowing that you will soar. Every generation has a time where they have to roll up their sleeves, and you got a great education here in Didsbury. Really great education, and you're ready to do that. To our parents here out in the vehicles, nice wheels. You look really good out there. I did want to say thank you for being great partners. Right from the start, right from kindergarten, it is a partnership between schools and you as parents. So we want to thank you for that. And finally, to the many staff that have shared in your education, I want to thank you. Everyone from the schools, Rossford, West Glen, of course, Didsbury High, and I know some of you took blended courses at Didsbury Career High. I would like to thank all the staff, all the educational assistants and the teachers, admin support, those that worked in the library, bus drivers, custodians, all the support staff. They all had a hand, and so I want to thank them as well. My final words are, as you go out into the world, I encourage you to find a hero and do the best that you can. Congratulations from Schnooks Edge School Division. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoppins. In defense of Mr. Dagg being a math teacher, so was Mr. Hoppins, and I could tell you stories I'm not going to though. So next we have the message from the principal, Mr. Garth Dagg.
Thank you. Good afternoon, parents, grandparents, families, friends, guests, and most importantly, the grad class of 2020. First of all, I am going to own that mistake, but here's what happened. Mr. Wasmer told me 98.3 here in the parking lot. And then I was going back to the school and I thought, we're short of pylons. And I was trying how I could solve that problem. So I picked up every other pylon off 15th Avenue, blocking that new sidewalk. And then I got back to the school and I thought it was 98.3. So it was kind of not a direct mistake, but it was a little bit of a time error in there. So sorry for people who were on the radio. That was my error. But first of all, now to grads. Before I get to the message, it is so nice to actually see you here sitting in chairs. I can see kind of windshields out there, but it's very nice to see you here. I think I'm kind of like Google. I almost need full face recognition to actually see who you are, but it's very nice that you're sitting here together. I am thinking this is very special. You're my 33rd year of having a grade 12 class, either as a teacher and admin. And as far as grads, I clearly remember one in 1989 because that was the first one I was a guest speaker at. And I will clearly remember the grad class of 2020 for this too. So you got something very special for that. Secondly, some sincere thank yous. I think the only word I've used more than COVID probably in the last little bit is the word thank you. And we're very lucky in this community. I've got a few, and I always know when you thank people, you might miss someone, but start off with the mayor and the staff. May, June, when we realized we weren't going to have a traditional ceremony, the support that they gave to make sure you could have something special. Of course, the Zion Church staff giving up anything we needed to get this going and being here to support us for that. And your parents, that was just an amazing June send-off when you had the banners that they organized and set up with the community. Of course, the DHS staff for everything they've done. That was a work crew Saturday this morning. Even a couple of new teachers that have not met you were here. And as Mr. Dick said, we set up stage and chairs and parking over there, and then we brought it all over here, and they just stuck around till everything was done. the class of 2021, who got you all here parked and in your places, and it worked out pretty well to be on time. The local police and Dana Munn and the car club, I just gave them a call the other day, and they're more than happy to kind of lead the parade on a short notice. And then last and kind of a special one, the alumni of DHS, which you are going to become one. The alumni, I know they went deep in their pockets to help provide those banners, and those were the nicest banners in the province, I know, but I think the alumni came together and got those for you. And the little spruce trees that you're going to take home with you and plant, again, that was from an alumni, Brett Stewart. He didn't want me to mention his name. He just wanted to provide those. But then again, that was the idea, that you have something special from the year 2020. So thank you so much to everybody who's been involved and helped us out. And the last thing is, even though this is your grad, I am going to steal a little bit of time, and I think you will understand and appreciate it. We have 3 retiring teachers the year that you graduated. All 3 of those teachers were at the school hired before I got there, and I'm so blessed that they have been there. I'm going to go from the earliest hire at Didsbury High School to the latest, and I'm not going to say lots about, because this is your grad, but first of all, there's Mark Schultz, who's retired, who has been, of course, our science chemistry teacher, some other things involved, of course. Secondly was Mrs. Worth, foods and grade 9 social. And finally, Mr. Newberger, and probably not only you students, but older brothers and sisters, and maybe even some parents have had Mr. Newberger. So in our school, with those 3 retirees, we lost about 100 years of teaching experience, went out the door when they left. And so I know Mr. Dick said we're not going to honk the horns or anything until the end, but I think if you wouldn't mind, grads, let's give these 3 retiring teachers a round of applause, and you can honk your horns for them in the All right, so on with the message. A doctor, a lawyer, a little boy, and a church pastor were flying in a small private plane. Suddenly, the plane developed engine trouble. In spite of the best efforts of the pilot, the plane started to go down. The pilot grabbed a parachute and yelled to the passengers that they better jump, and he himself bailed out. Unfortunately, there were only 3 parachutes remaining. The doctor grabbed one of the parachutes and said, "I'm a doctor, I save lives, so I must live to save other lives," and she jumped out. The lawyer then said, "I'm a lawyer, and lawyers are the smartest people in the world. I deserve to live." He also grabbed the parachute and jumped. The pastor looked at the little boy and said, "My son, I've lived a long, full life. You are young and have your whole life ahead of you. Take the last parachute and live in peace." The little boy handed the parachute back to the pastor and said, "Don't worry, Pastor. The smartest man in the world just jumped out of the plane with my backpack." Now, I tell you that joke not to make fun of lawyers, maybe a little bit, but to remind you, when things don't look great, you don't do yourself any favor by panicking. What I can tell you is that history is full of both good and bad times. And it seems like 4 words are, this time is different, believing that the current problem is bigger than anything in the past. That never ends up being true. So I am asking you to have some trust in humanity and understand that what we're going through now is just a challenge that we will get through. You should believe and plan for a positive future. There are many times in history when things look dark and we worried about the future. I'm going to share 3 of those specific times with you, just as a way to understand that this is just part of what you're having today. First of all, and the most relevant to you, is the fact that you are here, a graduate in the year 2020. I know you're all aware of 9/11, but to put that in perspective, for you today, that happened in 2001, and you were born in 2002. So despite all of the grim news our world was dealing with at that time, your parents had faith in humanity that you were able to become a graduate in 2020. By the way, how many of you are born in June or July? Just raise your hand. You have very optimistic parents. You'll figure that out. To back up even more time, I clearly remember sitting in high school back in the 70s, experiencing the sweats when my teacher was discussing how imminent nuclear war was. We watched a movie called The Late Great Planet Earth, which explained that this time things were different than any other time in history. Humanity had figured out a way to destroy itself. I clearly remember feeling cheated out of life, thinking that I would not have a chance to grow old and have a family of my own. Now, 40 some years later, we have prevailed, and I am able to watch your generation graduate. And one of the last events I decided to share with you is one because it involves a person that's very special to me. My dad just passed away in April at 94 years of age. He was a great man, and he was married for over 65 years, and they raised 7 fantastic children. By the time he was a teenager, your age, his family had gone through the Great Depression, a world recession, the stock market had crashed, and there was rationing and food supplies. I'm thinking even on toilet paper. My dad was like thousands of other Canadians. He signed up to go overseas and serve in World War II when he was just 17 years old. During that time period, from 1939 to 1940, there were 50 people globally that were killed. That's like 28,000 per day. Many people did not think things would ever return to normal, but again, humanity prevailed. So don't get me wrong, there are many things about this year that suck. We have been in isolation because of a pandemic. There is a recession that could lead to a depression and a stock market crash, a trade war between China and the US. There are riots and climate change. And you weren't able to finish all your classes in semester 2. This does not mean you need to panic and jump out of the plane without a pin. Coal have the same exact chemical composition, but what separates the two is that diamonds have endured intense pressure. The fact that you are facing these pressures in your life is the very reason you will become the diamonds in the future. Very little personal growth or excellence happens during easy times. So on behalf of your teachers, the EAs, support staff, custodians, and bus drivers, congratulations to the class of 2020. Now get out there and make the world a better place.
Thank you, Mr. Dagg. Now I'd like to call upon Mr. Kirk Wasmer to introduce the valedictorian.
Thank you, Mr. Dick. Good afternoon, graduates, parents, faculty, and special guests. It is my honor to introduce to you the valedictorian for the Didsbury High School graduating class of 2020. Kelly Delong is, without question, an exceptional scholar, as that is what earned her the distinction of being this year's valedictorian. In fact, throughout her 4 years at DHS, she consistently received numerous awards for her academic achievement. In addition, she participated on our school sports teams and, of course, was heavily involved in our band program. I confidently recommended Kelly to numerous regional and provincial honor performance ensembles, knowing that she would be an outstanding ambassador for her family, our school, and our community. She always delivered, and I was always quick to proudly point out that Barry sax player there, she's from Didsbury High School. Perhaps what to my mind put her on the highest pedestal, however, even above all of these other great achievements, is that she owns and drives a motorcycle. Here is my 18-year-old Barry sax player living out my midlife crisis. Respect, Kelly. I'm so very proud to present to you the valedictorian for the DHS grad class of 2020, Kelly Delong.
Good afternoon. Oh, I guess I can take this off now. I want to thank everyone, staff, graduates, families, and our guests from Schnooks Edge School Division for being here today. I'd like to address the people that deserve our unending gratitude for getting us to this point. Our teachers and our parents and guardians. Our teachers have answered all of our stupid questions, sometimes with stupid answers, and gracefully handled all the times Andrew fell asleep in class. Our parents and guardians have kept us fed and made sure we got at least 3 hours of sleep per night when we forgot there was a test tomorrow and hadn't done any practice questions. They say it takes a village to raise a child, so just imagine how much work went into raising all 55 of us. Kudos to them. Well, class of 2020, we have had quite an exciting ride, to say the least. Right from the get-go, we've had it rough. We were born right after 9/11, and we've had to fight our way through life pretty much ever since. We got flooded out of grade 5 camp. We had to endure the single grade 6 classroom. And our international band trip couldn't happen because of all the terrorist attacks in Europe at the time. And now there's the elephant in the room, or should I say the parking lot, since the elephant does not allow us to be in a room together. Don't worry, I swear the rest of my speech isn't this depressing. Yeah, we've had a tough go of it, but you know, I'm glad we had to struggle just that little bit more than everyone else, because it's made us into the strong people we are today. At this point, we know for a fact that life is not able to beat us down. It has tried its damnedest, and yet we are still standing here. I'm also glad we struggled, because that means we'll appreciate the good times even more than other people. We try our best to see the silver lining in situations, to make the best of it, and to make lemonade even when it feels like life is shooting lemons at us with a potato gun. We are people who will never take success for granted, nor the importance of support from friends and family. In this way, I believe we're truly lucky people. So, there's one thing that has clearly seared itself into the minds of every single graduate for years, since it's mentioned in almost every single DHS valedictorian speech that I researched. And in the interest of carrying on tradition, I suppose I'd better mention it as well. The English review booklet. During our last year of English, we had to write that daunting review booklet, which we had heard so many horror stories about. But no matter how much we hated the actual process of making the review booklet, I don't think any of us can really hate the review booklet itself, since we were, without a doubt, the most prepared people for our diploma in the province. All of the struggle before ensured that we would go in with all of the tools we needed to write that test. And now, when I look at that chock-full, 2-inch thick binder that took me over 85 hours to make, trust me, I calculated, I feel extreme pride in what we accomplished. The same principle stands for every obstacle that we have faced over the years. When we look back on them, we should be grateful that we can wear that badge of honor, because that's what the title Class of 2020 is. It's a medal of valor. We've shared blood from the ultimate, yet a little too competitive, from seeing words on tests that could not possibly be real, and tears from that review booklet together, and that's something we can be proud of for the rest of our lives. I'm honored to have shared these past years with all of you, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Congratulations, Class of 2020.
And again, on a normal year, this would be the time when I would announce that Kelly will receive the Governor General's Award. We just can't hand it to her physically now. And as well for being the valedictorian, she receives a ring from Jostens that there will be a letter coming for her. So thanks and congratulations, Kelly.
Okay, we're almost done. We don't have scholarships to go through, so that's been cut out, special awards. So just a few things for grads. So first of all, please make sure that your tassels are on the right side of your cap. Okay, yep. So Riel, form an R. Good, we're good to go. Next thing's gonna be, don't move just yet, but we're gonna have 3 people positioned on this side of the stage. All right, so that's gonna start with Abersold Squared and Joseph. And then once Carol comes up onto the stage, the next person will leave the chair, so that's you, Caleb. All right, Mr. Schultz told you guys to go around back so you're not walking in front of the cameras, right? Okay. And as people go, as you notice the seat next to you is empty, then the next person would be you once they're up and going. Once you get up front, you're socially distanced. You can take off your masks, okay? X marks the spot. So when your name is called, come up onto the stage and then stand with your, well, it'll be nicer than this, but with your certificate, just hold it in front of you. And Miss Budd is going to take your picture, so smile for the camera, okay? Stay on the X until they're done your biography, okay? And then once your biography is done, then you can walk off the right-hand side. There is an envelope for you to go. When you do go back to your vehicles, though, don't forget your trees. So each one of those trees is for you to keep and plant, and then you'll have a memory in about 50 years of graduation. And so if we could start then with the Ebersolds and Joseph, please, coming around.
Carol Abersold. After graduation, Carol plans. Oh, okay. Well, after graduation, Carol plans to attend Red Deer College for early learning and a childcare program. She hopes to pursue a field that allows her to help individuals with mental health issues. Carol is the daughter of Sylvia and Martin Abersold. Carol Abersold, graduate. Noelle Abersold. Sylvia and Martin Abersold are also parents to Noelle. Noelle will attend Red Deer College for pre-health sciences in the fall, with future hopes of attaining a career in the health and wellness field. Noelle Abersold, graduate with honors. Joseph Andrews. Joseph enjoyed his time here at Didsbury High, or there. His future plans are undecided. Joseph is son to Cherie and Dan Andrews. Joseph Andrews, graduate. Caleb Bosher. Close enough. Caleb will be working for a year. In the future, Caleb hopes to work toward obtaining a career in the police force. Caleb's parents are Miriam and Kevin Richardson. Caleb Bosher, graduate. Kaylee Bohe. Kaylee will be joining the workforce next year. She is hoping to travel and then will consider her future plans. Amanda and John Bohe are Kaylee's parents. Kaylee Bohe, graduate.
Madison Budd. Madison, daughter of Tony and Michelle Budd, will be attending Cape and Ray Harbour Bible School on the Thetis Island in BC. All of the students complete the same 9-month program, which focuses on knowledge of the Bible and how it can be applied to our lives. She is not yet sure of what path she wants to live her life after she completes her gap year at Cape and Ray, but she does know that whatever job she ends up pursuing will be one that helps others. Madison Budd, graduate with honors with distinction. Julia Colbert. Julia enjoyed her time at Didsbury High. Future plans are yet undecided. Angela Phillips and Denise Colbert are Julia's parents. Julia Colbert, graduate. Thomas Davey. Thomas is the son of Alistair and Kim Davey. Thomas will be pursuing ground school next year in order to obtain his pilot's license. He then plans to find a career as a commercial airline pilot. Thomas Davey, graduate. Kelly Delong. Next year, Kelly will be attending the University of Alberta, enrolled in the engineering department. She will obtain a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and then hopes to head to the Mediterranean, where she makes enough money to enjoy life. Kimberly and Randy Delong are the proud parents of Kelly. Kelly Delong, graduate with honors with distinction.
Joey Dick. Joey will continue his work as a volunteer firefighter with the Didsbury Fire Department. And in July, he will attend the Alberta Health and Safety Training Institute for an emergency medical response program. He will then find work as either a full firefighter or a full-time emergency medical responder. After a year, he then hopes to apply for a primary care paramedic course and continue to train with the Didsbury Fire Department. His ultimate aspirations at this time is to become a cross-trained firefighter paramedic for the Calgary Fire Department. Joey's parents are Randy and Carrie Dick. Joey Dick, graduate with honors. Josh Dick. Josh is the son of Curtis Dick and Stacy Stilling. Josh is planning to attend Mount Royal University for criminal justice program next year. He hopes to ultimately work in the homicide division for the RCMP or the Calgary Police Service. Josh Dick, graduate with honors. Leah Imond. Next year, Leah will attend the University of Lethbridge in the Bachelor of Arts program. In the future, she would like to obtain a master's in European history. Leah's parents are Tammy and Sebastian Imond. Leah Imond, graduate with honors. Gavin Edemansky. Gavin's parents are Anita and Ken Edemansky. Gavin will be attending UBC Okanagan for computer science. In 5 to 10 years, he would like to see himself with his own business while taking time to enjoy life and pursue my passions such as acting. Gavin Edemansky, graduate with honors. Tage Fons.
Woo!
Yeah, I know.
Tage will be attending SAIT, enrolled in their industrial mechanics program. He would then like to work full-time as a millwright in the millwright industry. Tage is the son of Kirk and Kassan Fons. Tage Fons, graduate.
Carson Fisher. Next year, Carson will be working and saving money with the hopes of attending post-secondary the following year, pursuing a legal degree. Kevin Fisher and April Grant are parents of Carson. Carson Fisher, graduate. Madison Fisher. Madison hopes to attend Red Deer College, enrolled in their Bachelor of Education program. Her future goal is to be an elementary school teacher. Madison's parents are Rochelle Fisher and Bob Fuller. Madison Fisher, graduate. Natalie Fuentes Moya. Magdalena Moya Preciado and Saqueo Fuentes Rojas are parents of Natalie. Natalie plans on working for a year. She is unsure of what she would like to do after that, but hopes to have a job that she enjoys with a family and house of her own. Natalie Fuentes Moya, graduate. Kaya Gosling. Kaya will be joining the workforce for a year and then hopes to obtain her early childhood education. Her future job would include working with children. Amanda Gosling and Garth Gosling are Kaya's proud parents.
Kaya Gosling, graduate.
Connor Harper. Shelley Harper and Alex Harper are Connor's parents. Connor plans to move into Calgary and work for as long as it takes to pay for his post-secondary education at the University of Calgary, with his area of study to be decided. In the future, he hopes to be enjoying his life. Connor Harper, graduate with honors.
Noah Hodge. Noah will be joining the workforce next year and will consider post-secondary education in the future. Noah's parents are Lori and Jeff Hodge. Noah Hodge, graduate. Maximus Hobbs. After working for a year, Max will like to attend SAIT for electrical engineering. He will also like to save enough to travel to Russia and France. Justin Hobbs and Heather McKay are the parents of Max. Maximus Hobbs, graduate. Amber Hornbrook. Amber, daughter of Nora Hart and Jeremy and Rhonda Hornbrook, will be headed to Edmonton for air traffic control training, self-reliance, financial stability, and an occupation as an air traffic controller is Amber's future hopes. Amber Hornbrook, graduate with honors. Tyler Jacobs Davis. Tyler will be working next year and saving money to travel with future hopes of pursuing a career in audio engineering. Tyler's parents are Virginia Jacobs and John Davis. Tyler Jacobs Davis, graduate.
Caleb Johnston. Caleb is the son of Rasheen and Aaron Johnston. Caleb enjoyed his time at Disbury High. His future plans are undecided. Caleb Johnston, graduate. Grace Kreiser. University of Lethbridge will be home to Grace in the fall, enrolled in the Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Arts in Drama program. Future plans will include teaching and doing what she loves. Lana Kreiser and Barry Kreiser are Grace's proud parents. Grace Kreiser, graduate with honors with distinction. Sadea Lafferty. Ernestine Lafferty and Justin Murray are parents of Sadea. Sadea enjoyed her time at Disbury High School. Her future plans are undecided. Sadea Lafferty. Brielle Lever. Brielle hopes to attend post-secondary education in Calgary with the intent to become an interior designer. Rob and Londa Lever are parents of Brielle. Brielle Lever, graduate. Katie McLean. Katie is hoping to attend post-secondary education to pursue a career in counseling with a focus on grief counseling. Gary McLean, Shannon McLean, Sheila McCoy, and Josh Chase are the parents of Katie. Katie McLean, graduate.
Jace Mcdonald. Jace will be attending the University of Calgary for astrophysics. He would like to then further his education with a master's or PhD or obtain a research position. Jace's proud parents are Grant and Lorraine McDonald. Jace McDonald, graduate with honors. Jacob McInnes. Jacob plans on working and traveling for the next year. He then plans on attending SAIT for mechanical engineering. Ron and Christina McInnes are parents to Jacob. Jacob McInnes, graduate. Isabel McKenna. Terry McKenna is the proud parent of Isabel. Isabel will be attending Olds College for the Veterinary Medical Receptionist program. She then hopes to work her way up the veterinary field. Isabel McKenna, graduate. Chris Morrison. Chris enjoyed his time here at Didsbury High. His future plans are undecided. Chris and Ron Guinness are parents to Chris. Chris Morrison, graduate. Will Oldford. Will, son of Linda and Jeff Oldford, will be working next year, hopefully in a mechanical shop, while also joining the Army Reserves in Calgary. He plans on joining the Canadian Armed Forces in the future. Will Oldford, graduate.
Joelle Pancrat. Joelle hopes to attend the University of Calgary, focusing on social and cultural anthropology. She would love to be able to travel to Europe in the future. Daisy Pancrat and Rhett Churchill are Joelle's parents. Joelle Pancrat, graduate. Mitchell Pazlowski. Mitch enjoyed his time at Didsbury High. His future plans are undecided. Mitch's parents are Kimberly and Jason Pazlowski. Mitchell Pazlowski, graduate. Seth Peterson. Seth will be pursuing a Bachelor's of Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music at Grant MacEwan University next year. His future goals are to become a full-time performing musician, a private drum teacher, and eventually pursue a master's degree in music. His proud parents are Jennifer Peterson, Melissa Peterson, and Stacy Peterson. Seth Peterson, graduate. Mia Petrovic. Mia hopes to attend the University of Lethbridge for a Bachelor of Arts and Education to be a drama teacher. In addition to teaching in the future, she hopes to travel. Lucy Smolcic and brother Chris Petrovic are the parents of Mia. Mia Petrovic, graduate. Peyton Rothenbush. Peyton will be heading to Red Deer College to begin a program to obtain a Bachelor of Arts in Criminology. In the future, he would like to use his Bachelor in Criminology to become a crime analyst or a parole officer. Peyton is the son of Dan and Karen Rothenbush. Peyton Rothenbush, graduate with honors.
Cassidy Schlachter. Cassidy, daughter of George and Doris Schlachter, is planning to attend the University of Lethbridge next year, enrolled in an education program with a focus on social studies. She then hopes to teach high school and travel. Cassidy Schlachter, graduate with honors. Andrew Shields. Andrew will be continuing his apprenticeship as a heavy-duty mechanic next year. He plans on obtaining his ticket as a heavy-duty and agricultural mechanic. Doug and Joanna Shields are parents of Andrew. Andrew Shields, graduate. Dallin Shields. Dallin is the daughter of Alan and Joey Shields. Dallin will be attending the Mount Royal University and taking athletic therapy. She would then love to travel with the sports team for a few years and potentially go on to get a master's in physiotherapy. Dallin Shields, graduate with honors. Emma Schultz. Emma is headed to Red Deer College to pursue a Bachelor's of Education. Once she obtains her degree, she plans on pursuing a career where she can teach the importance of agriculture at a college or business level. Proud parents of Sean and Tina Schultz. Emma Schultz, graduate with honors. Paige Sorensen. Paige will continue working next year and potentially take a few courses through Rhodes College. Fostering animals is her passion, and she would like to strive to accomplish this in the future. Vicki and Ron Sorensen are Paige's parents. Paige Sorensen, graduate.
Christine Svensson. Christine's plans are undecided at this time. Christine is the daughter of Grant and Lori Svensson. Christine Svensson, graduate. Jake Thompson. Jake's plan moving on from high school is to work for a year or two and eventually go back for post-secondary options. He is not exactly sure what he wants to do for work in the future, but he does know that he would like to keep pursuing the hobbies he loves and do his best to stay focused on what's important to him. Trevor and Holly Thompson are parents of Jake. Jake Thompson, graduate with honors. Jermaine K. Valdez. Jermaine will be taking computer science at Mount Royal University next year. She would love to eventually work with a cohort creating their own application or software, in addition to traveling and designing her own dream home. Miriam and Benjamin Valdez are Jermaine's proud parents. Jermaine K. Valdez, graduate with honors. Justin Vendik. Next year, Justin will be working and saving up for post-secondary or to enroll in an apprenticeship program. In the future, Justin would like to work as an auto body technician for small recreational vehicles in a local shop. Melinda and Kurt Vendik are his proud parents. Justin Vendik, graduate. Ellen Van Nordenberg. This fall, Ellen will attend Olds College and take their agricultural management program. In the future, she would like to work for the FCC, Farm Credit Canada, with her main focus in agribusiness and spend time with her horses. Additionally, she would love to be involved in the rodeo queen world, whether this means running for another title or coordinating her own competition. Ellen is the daughter of Robert and Margin Van Nordenberg. Ellen Van Nordenberg, graduate. Laura Walter. Laura will be working and saving some money. She would like to see the world eventually and apply to state for the dental assistant course when ready. Michelle Cannonberg, Simone Walter, and Marcus Walter are Laura's parents. Laura Walter, graduate. Emma Ward. Emma, daughter of proud parents Michael and Cindy Ward, will be attending CLBI in Camrose for a year, then she'll be headed to culinary school to become a chef. She would love to be working at a fancy restaurant in the big city or on a cruise ship in the future. Emma Ward, graduate. Tessa Watma. Tessa hopes to attend Reindeer College for education or psychology. Tessa's parents are Jennifer and Kelly Falk and Tori and Christine Garlow. Tessa Watma, graduate. Gina Wrigley. Next year, we'll find Gina working and maybe traveling. As for the future, she's undecided and will just see where the wind takes her. Dale and Jody Wrigley are the parents of Gina. Gina Wrigley, graduate with honors. Rain Young. Rain is going to Olds College in the fall for veterinary technician diploma. She hopes to work as a vet tech in the future. Rhonda and Donovan Young are Rain's parents. Rain Young, graduate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time we're going to get ready to introduce the class of 2020. What we're going to have them do is turn around and face you all in your cars, and then we'll get them a little bit of a set, and the ceremonial tossing of the hats on COVID days is supposed to be a waving of the hats, and then we can hoot and holler and honk the horns as much as you can. After that, we're going to move into the parade procession, so you all have to be patient. Everyone will go to the car. Don't forget to throw that little seedling in your vehicle before you drive away. And then we're going to start with Abersolds, and we're going to follow alphabetically out. And we got Ryan Anderson, community officer, and the Olds Car Club will lead you through the parade route. And someone will catch up to you at the high school to collect your gown. So grad class of 2020, kind of come back this way, face your family, and try and see if you can find them. And then we'll introduce you there. So first of all,
Sure.
Is this your work?
Yeah. You can show stuff as much as you can in your locker if you keep
I think I will take the camera as well as the chip just so in case there's trouble downloading.
Sure.
Do you want to take this? And then I'll bring it on Monday.
The private stuff as well then?
Yeah.
Keep that all together? Okay.
cold.
All together.